guys have not known, I had a blog, or I have a blog, MJFANGIRL.com. It's what I did before I started YouTube and podcasts and all that. And one of the articles that has been super, super popular that I wrote is about Michael Jackson's manifesto and this manifestation letter that he wrote to himself in 1979.
Mm.
So I want to talk to you a little about it, read a little bit of it, and then we can talk about it.
79, so fresh off the wall release.
Yes.
Maybe right after or right during, somewhere around that time.
Yeah, he actually was on the Destiny tour.
Okay.
So let me, or am I wrong about that? He was on the Destiny tour. Yeah, let me just pull up because I actually have a quote from an article that I found on this manifesto. The first time that I ever saw the manifesto was actually in the Spike Lee documentary, Off the Wall, Journey from Motown to Epic Records, or Journey to Off the Wall, really. And I found an article basically about this manifesto. This was published on CBS News in 2013. And here's what this music industry producer said. It's not unusual for young artists, musicians, actors to daydream about how big a star they want to become. But for someone to write it down at age 21 and actually execute it almost to the T is remarkable. He set his goals and did exactly what he said on the back of that piece of paper. Now, you guys, this actually made me very emotional when I saw this for the first time in the theater at this premiere of this documentary, because I was like, wow, he wrote everything down. And here it is. He says, MJ will be my new name. No more Michael Jackson. I want a whole new character, a whole new look. I should be a totally different person. People should never think of me as the kid who sang ABC or I Want You Back. I should be a new, incredible actor, singer, dancer that will shock the world. I will do no interviews. I will be magic. I will be a perfectionist, a researcher, a trainer, a masterer. I will be better than every great actor roped into one. Amazing. Yes, thank you, Solomon, for throwing that picture up. You guys can see this is Michael Jackson wrote this on the back of an itinerary, November 6th, 1979, on the back of an itinerary while they were doing after the Baltimore, Maryland show of the Destiny tour.
Yeah, right then he was probably like, I'm going to start looking different than my brothers, the way we looked when we grew up. And it started with like the Thriller era for sure, right? I mean, that hair was totally different than anything he had before.
Yeah.
And then that era, I mean, completely different, like Smooth Criminal, Bad Video. That really seems like a whole brand new person with all the talent there still.
Right. It's like he took reinventing yourself to the next level. And even I'm looking at this and it says, I must have the most incredible training system to dig and dig and dig until I find. And it's so true. He always said follow the greats or study the greats and become greater. And he did that. You can see so many of the artists that influenced Michael all roped into everything that he did. You can see the influences, but he kind of made it into his own. And it's just so crazy because child stars don't often succeed, number one, when they break out of their group. That's number one. And number two, do they ever achieve way more than the group ever did? Or than they did as a part of the group? That's unheard of, really.
Right. It's definitely unheard of, especially in acting too, to come up as a child star and you grow and you change and people are like, I just like the kid. I don't really like the adult here.
Right.
So then that probably is another reason why Michael was, befriending a lot of child actors like Macaulay Culkin, and just I get where you're at. It's gonna change.
Yeah.
And if you stick to it, you could succeed. And I think Michael really is a great example of persevering out of the group, going solo, doing his own tours, changing his look, and just being a master of his art.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so inspiring. This is one of those things that makes me realize how big of an influence Michael Jackson has been on my life, because it makes me feel like he really made you feel like you could achieve anything, And we don't want to say it's all manifestation or all prayer or whatever higher power you believe in. you could say, oh, then Michael Jackson manifested this, right? But there was also hard work. There was also the collaborators and like who he picked on his team to help him achieve these heights and reach these heights. And there was a lot of like well thought out building of the career and of the image. And yeah, he made it all happen.
Right. And then he probably had a good feeling it was going to be successful in the music because he's probably just thinking of songs constantly. Can't stop thinking of songs. I think he comes up with hundreds of songs before they narrow down to whatever 8-10 tracks for the album.
Yeah.
And then he knew he had the talent of dancing and entertainment and drawing a whole crowd full in the concert venue. And yeah, what a great example. And I think that manifesto was really, other than the acting, he didn't quite do that, but
right.
Everything else he got out there and he did it.
Yeah. And who knows, his life was cut very short and maybe he would have been able to get more into acting. Maybe he would have been into like producing and all that stuff, writing or film like he really wanted to. So we'll never know, but I just wanted to point that out because that's a trending topic on the blog right now. Let me know. I will link down in the show notes or in the description box the actual original article that I wrote that has been trending right now. And I want you guys to write in the comments, what do you feel about Michael Jackson's manifesto? What do you feel about the power of manifestation? Do you think it was a little bit of that? Was it just all hard work? Was it happenstance? Was it timing? Like, tell us everything in the comments.
Comment. Tell us your thoughts for sure.
Yes. And yeah, thank you so much for enjoying this episode. This has been super fun. First episode in the studio. Woohoo! We did it. Yeah. And yeah, let us know. Make sure that you're subscribing. Yes. And following the show. And make sure that you leave a 5-star rating or whatever rating you want to leave. But I would prefer 5 stars on Spotify and on Apple Music, Amazon Music, because that actually helps the podcast to grow and really trying to grow like the podcast side of things.
Definitely. Yep. 5-star reviews. Strive for 5s.
Yep.
And yeah, help her grow her channel.
Yes. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Join the MJ Fangirl Patreon for Patreon members-only exclusive content 3 times a month and access to the entire video library. Shout out to our platinum sponsor, Marlis. You are the best.